Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to another Tasty Tuesday. I'm Sierra. I'm back, 310 nutritionist and health coach, and we're doing a recipe today. We're doing a cookie recipe today. I mean, I love a good cookie. Hopefully you guys do too. So let's go ahead and just get started. If you guys are not familiar with these lives, I do these twice a week on Tuesdays, which is today. I make a new food recipe of some sort. Usually it's like a cookie or muffin or something like that. And then on Saturdays, I make a new shake recipe. And this is just to show you guys, especially on Tuesdays, just to show you guys different ways to start using your products, maybe aside from 310 shakes. If you're wanting a cookie or a muffin or pancakes or something, just different ways that you can use your shakes and other products in order to make delicious treats that are maybe a little bit healthier and more protein packed and fiber filled than something you would just buy in the grocery store. So I am going to show you guys what you need. It's a very, very simple recipe. It doesn't take much at all. If you guys have made shakes before, some of this may actually be on hand, or if you've baked it all, a lot of this may actually be things that you already have. But you're gonna need one cookie tin, which this is pretty big, but I have this just in case I need that much space. I have a mixing bowl, some mixing utensils here. I don't think we're gonna need a whisk. Oven is just done preheating at 350 degrees. We're gonna cook these for about 10 to 12 minutes or until the bottom is a little bit browned. And then I have my, what is this? This is the shake. So I have a cup of 310 unflavored shake here, which I know it sounds kind of weird, unflavored, but we're gonna be adding in the chocolate flavor and a bunch of other flavors. I have a cup of coconut flour, which also has 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Make sure it's soda and not baking powder. I have a cup and a half of applesauce here, which is going to kind of just help keep everything together and give enough moisture to this recipe so it's not just like dry powders. I have a bunch of delicious dairy-free chocolate chips. So actually this could be an entire vegan recipe because the shakes are vegan, the 310 products I'm using are vegan, and then I have other vegan ingredients here, especially with the dairy-free chocolate chips. But if you want to go ahead and use like regular chocolate chips, that's totally fine. This is just a suggestion if you guys wanted to keep it vegan. I have a cup of peanut butter here. Smooth peanut butter is probably going to be best for you. And then I have about 2 tablespoons of cacao powder. So it's very similar to cocoa, but it's just a little bit more like of the purer form of chocolate and less processed. So I have that here. And I think that's everything. So like I said, it's a very simple recipe. It literally just requires you to put the oven at 350, put everything in this bowl here, mix it up, put it on your cookie sheet, put it in the oven, right? So very simple, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do it. And I have not made this recipe yet, so I'm very, very excited to see how they come out. I mean, I have liked everything so far, so hopefully this is something that I can add to my arsenal for baked goods. I'm not a big baker by any means, but I can do these little things, so if I can do it, you guys can do it. All right, so I have my shake powder here, which actually I'm not gonna add that first. I'm gonna add my applesauce just because I don't wanna put wet on dry stuff. It's just gonna cake to the bottom. So I have a full cup and a half of applesauce here. You're gonna wanna use unsweetened applesauce. And if you guys have any questions at any point, please just feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm happy to answer those questions for you guys so that you can make these cookies successfully. So after the applesauce, let me make sure I get all of this because I have a feeling we're gonna need all the moisture we can get because we have so many dry ingredients. All right. Have the applesauce. Now I'm gonna add in the shake powder. So this is a cup. Remember, this is the 310 shake. So it's vegan and organic, 15 grams of protein per serving, only 2 grams net carbs. It's very keto friendly for that reason. No added sugars. They're naturally sweetened with stevia. So you're not gonna have like any artificial sweeteners of any kind. They also have 5 grams of fiber, which is huge because fiber is very important for helping with satiety. Normally when you're making a shake, you will use a pre-measured scoop that comes in the bag that looks like this. But because this recipe is calling for a cup, don't use this. This is not a full cup, and actually measure out a cup for this recipe so you get the right measurements. But this is the unflavored, and I chose this one because I haven't used it a ton, but I just wanted to show you guys that you can use the unflavored like you can use any other shake. I mean, it doesn't have a flavor, so it kind of gives you a little bit more freedom when you're using it because you can add a bunch of different ingredients to make it the flavor that you want it to be. So I wanted to show you guys this for that reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that shake in now. And I'll just go ahead and do all of it. All right. And that's gonna give us, I mean, it's gonna help kind of mold the cookie as well, but also it's gonna give us some protein. It's gonna give us that fiber like I talked about. And it's just gonna help to make this cookie not just a cookie, but a cookie that has much more protein and much more fiber than you would find in like a regular baked good. Because when you go to the bakery or you buy something, they use more affordable ingredients, right? And that usually is things like white flour or regular sugar. So it's just a little bit healthier of an option. And because I used more than just a scoop, I used a whole cup, I'm gonna get even more than 15 grams of protein in here. But of course I won't be per serving because I'm not gonna eat this whole thing at once because I wanna make multiple cookies that I can have throughout the week. All right, so far so good. I think what I'm gonna do now is add in the peanut butter. So the peanut butter and the applesauce are gonna be the main like binding agents for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and add more peanut butter. That way I have enough moisture in here to finish it off with the coconut flour. So this is just a cup of regular non-chunky peanut butter, smooth peanut butter. And this is really gonna help to kind of keep everything together because peanut butter is sticky. It's also an excellent source of healthy fats. I forgot to tell you guys, I also added the 310 MCT in my applesauce because it saved bowls. I didn't want to use another bowl, but I put a tablespoon of the MCT in with my applesauce. So I already have that in here. The MCT, if you're not familiar, this is a very, very good source of a healthy fat. Sometimes people call it the keto oil. That's fine. It also is keto friendly because it's high fat and no carbs. But everyone needs healthy fats in their diet. Like whether or not you're doing keto, whether or not you're even thinking about keto, we all need healthy fats, just like we all need protein, right? So the keto or the MCT oil is gonna be a really, really good source of healthy fats. I like to sneak it in things when I can because even though I'm not keto, it's still important to get in healthy fats, right? So I sneak it in when I can to like shakes and baked goods because it doesn't change the flavor since it is unflavored. So it's really nice to be able to get in that added nutrition and not change the overall flavor of something. And I have found just using like a tablespoon or even a half tablespoon in the recipe, even if it doesn't specifically call for an oil, I have not yet come across a problem with doing that in these recipes. So this is pretty thick. I think we're actually gonna get quite a few cookies. Like I said, I haven't made this one yet, so I don't really know what the final product tastes like yet, but I have very high hopes because it has simple, clean ingredients. And who doesn't like chocolate cookies, right? I mean, they're just delicious. So now I'm gonna add in my coconut flour. I have a cup of coconut flour and then I have 2 teaspoons of baking soda. So I'm only gonna add in about half so I can just make it a little bit easier to mix all this. And the unflavored shake that I used today, this is just an option, right? If you want like chocolate chunk cookies, you could use the chocolate shake and make super chocolate cookies, which I did want to do, but I also haven't used this unflavored shake a lot. So I really wanted to show you guys how easy it can be to incorporate the unflavored because some people are all about it. Some people don't know how to use it, but it's really just use it like you would use any other shake, right? The only difference is it's going to take on more of a flavor of what you add versus the actual shake itself. So I may need to use my hands, which is fine because I already washed them, but it might prove a little bit easier. But right now I'm just kind of like folding it because I don't want it to stick more to my hands than to the actual ingredients. So I'm just kind of folding it and making sure I'm getting most of that mixed in there. And then I'm going to add in the rest of the baking soda and the flour. So this is coconut flour. Let's get these out of the way. And I wanted to let you guys know right now we are doing for the rest of this month, so we won't have results soon. We're doing an offer where you can win an Amazon gift card just by following the page. So if you haven't already followed us and you like seeing these videos, or you just like the chance of being able to get some Amazon gift card money, all you have to do is follow the page, screenshot it, and email it to launch@310nutrition.com. That's LAUNCH@310nutrition.com. And then that's it. And then you'll be qualified, and hopefully we'll have a lucky winner that's going to have that Amazon gift card. And that's free money for you. All you have to do is follow and then just screenshot and send it over. All right, so at this point, I may go ahead and use my hands. Another thing I forgot to tell you guys is I did already put some chocolate cacao powder in the flour mix that I had, so I have an extra 2 tablespoons here. But this is already getting kind of dry, so I think I'm gonna hold off on the extra and just go with what I have in here for now. And I am using my hands at this point because I think it's just going to be easier, but it's pretty sticky. So I may go back to the spatula once I get the majority of this mixed, but I could probably have done it with the spatula, but I just get a little impatient. And I just want to make sure that I'm getting, obviously, all of it mixed and that I don't have any like crazy spots where that are just like pure powder or flour, I guess I should say. It smells good. It looks like a pretty good cookie dough so far. I mean, cookie dough, when you put it in, at least in my opinion, it's way more like formed. It's more like a dough versus like a, I don't know, when you're making like brownies or something, it's more liquid. So this so far looks like a cookie should look, I think. But I do have a few more areas that I need to mix in, and then I'm gonna put in my chocolate chips. So, as I mentioned, I have the vegan ones, which is not a requirement. I mean, you can use the chocolate shake for this. You can use the vanilla shake. I wanted to show you guys the unflavored just so you have an awareness of how to use it if you're not already sure. But I'm using the dairy-free chocolate chips, so use whatever chocolate chips you want. These are actually dark chocolate. I am a huge fan of dark chocolate, but if you want to do like semi-sweet or something else, you can. I didn't really measure. I have about a cup of chocolate chips, because I want them to be like very chocolatey. So I'm gonna put in more, but if you don't want as many, you don't have to use as many. But I definitely love a good cookie with quite a bit of nice chocolate chunks in there. All right, so as you can see, I have a nice little form of cookie dough here. I think this is gonna turn out pretty well. It's still actually, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's still pretty moist. So I don't think it's gonna completely dry up and shrivel up. But I'm gonna add, my fingers are super sticky, but I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of drizzle these in there. And then get these mixed in and then put them on my cookie sheet. And I'll have a snack for later. I'll probably have like a couple of these and maybe like an apple or something, or who knows. I usually get a sweet tooth around dinner just because, I mean, it's the end of the day. I wanna unwind, so maybe I'll save some of them for dinner. But I'm also gonna bring them to school because all my classmates always ask, what did you make today? And if I don't have food, I have to explain why. So a lot of them are trying to fall to the bottom, so I'm just gonna stick them in here. I think I'm gonna do the rest of them. It's just maybe like 1 tablespoon left. All right, I'm excited for this, you guys. My original plan was to use a spoon to scoop them on here, but it's working pretty well with my hands so far. So I think I'm just gonna try to get the ones stuck on the bottom, mix them in, and then add them to my cookie sheet. So I'm gonna move this. Remember, the oven is at 350 and we're cooking these for about 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm just gonna take them and make them into, regular little cookies dough ball sizes, maybe, I don't really know, I'm not great with numbers, but about this big. And I'm just putting them right on the sheet. I'm gonna put them, try to put them evenly apart, and I'll just see how many we get. I'm gonna guess maybe a dozen. That seems to be about right, but we'll see. So I'm just gonna keep putting them on here. I don't know if these are going to flatten out, if they're gonna stay in the shape, because what I found is a lot of times you use protein, or you kind of make cookies that are a little bit non-traditional, I guess, in the sense. They sometimes they bake and stay in the shape that they're put onto the pan. So these might come out as actual little cookie dough bites. I'm not sure. So this is just something we're gonna have to see as they bake, but I'm gonna try to give them plenty of room just in case they do flatten out like some of them do. And maybe I'll even go and kind of push them down a little bit. Kat says, I like cookies. Cookies are good. Yes. Cookies are super good. And I mean, like I said, I don't know if I said this to you guys, but no one eats perfectly, right? Like 310 is not about doing this crazy extreme diet where you never have any food again that you like and you only have the shakes and you only have the products and you're like stuck living this boring, that's not what it's about, right? Number one, that's not realistic. No one eats that way, and you don't have to eat that way in order to reach whatever your goals may be, right? It's really about finding ways to enjoy food without letting it become take up all of your mental space, and also just making them a little bit healthier. Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna have a cookie, why not make cookies at home and save a little bit of money, and also make cookies that have more protein and fiber, so when you have a cookie, you're gonna feel more satisfied with the cookie because it has that protein and fiber. So you're actually gonna feel a little bit more like you actually ate something versus where you can just usually pack down like 6 or 7 cookies and it kind of just leaves you feeling not super full because they didn't have a lot of protein or fiber in those cookies. Because they use like the white flour and they don't add protein and things like that. So I don't know, we might have more than 12. Some of these look so good because there's like chocolate chips right next to each other. But yeah, no one eats perfectly. And if you think that that's what 310 is about, I encourage you to go to the community, connect with some people, because we have had some people with awesome experiences, and there's no secret, right? They don't eat like perfectly. They don't, have some super crazy thing that they follow or do. They just learn to incorporate 310 into their life and make healthy lifestyle choices that complement the goals that they want to make or that they want to reach. So, wow, we might have a lot. Actually, I may not even be able to put them all on this cookie sheet. I'm just a little hesitant to put them closer in case they do spread around. So I'm going to fill this up and then tell you how many I get and then see how many more that I think we can have. Again, I'm not good with numbers, so I could be totally off. But I guess a better thing I could do is show you guys the bowl afterwards. But I have almost 9, and I think I'm gonna be I'll try to fit in 2 more rows, so I'll have 15 on here. Just gotta do them a little bit closer. Hopefully I don't regret that. And Kat says, dang it, now I need cookies. Well, this is a super simple recipe. I mean, it literally only took a cup of coconut flour, 2 teaspoons baking soda, a cup of peanut butter, that's too big. A cup of peanut butter, a cup of your 310 shake, a tablespoon of the MCT, 2 tablespoons of cacao powder for the chocolatey, and then a cup and a half of applesauce. So it's very simple. And I think the hardest part of this for me is going to be waiting for them to bake. I'm going to be like watching in the window of the oven, making sure that they're baking. But yeah, like I said, I've never made this recipe, but so far I feel like they're going to turn out pretty well. They might be a little bit on the drier side, and the only thing I would suggest to help that is actually to use a little bit more coconut, or use a little bit more MCT oil, or you could melt your peanut butter a little bit before putting it in there. All right, so we're gonna do 3 more, and we'll have 15 on here, and that's a lot. I did not anticipate getting this many, but I mean, I guess we use basically a cup of everything, and that's kind of a lot. So, and then I'll show you the pan and show you what's left. And I think I'm gonna just push some of them down. Actually, let's do that. Let's push them down, give them a little head start in the oven. And that way, if they do stay like this when they bake, they'll be a little bit more of like a cookie shape versus just a ball, which I'm also fine with, like a cookie dough ball. Okay, almost done. And luckily they don't have to bake for too long, so hopefully I won't have to wait. Because sometimes, I did say 10 to 12 minutes, but sometimes depending on where you live and like the oven and everything, you may need a little bit more time. So I would just check around the 10-minute mark and check the bottom, just make sure that they're not too close to burning. And then you should be good. All right. Hopefully these don't spread out too much, because then I'll be in trouble and I'll have to just move them, but I don't want to cluster them anymore. But I have this whole sheet right here. How cool that looks. So I have 15 on here, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And then I still have this whole chunk right here. You can hear some of my chocolate chips are falling out, but I still have this whole chunk. So I might actually still maybe have about 9 more cookies in here. So I'm gonna have a lot of cookies to bring to campus, and hopefully they turn out well. I'm very excited to see, but it's a very, very simple recipe, and it's just, again, no one's gonna eat perfectly. So if you want cookies, save some money, make them at home. A lot of these things, you buy them in, you buy peanut butter, you buy your applesauce, you're gonna buy them in more than one container, so you're gonna still have that in the future when you wanna make more. So saves money. You're also using the products that you already have, and you're putting in more protein and fiber and other delicious and nutritious ingredients into these cookies, so it's going to be a little bit more satisfying than just eating a regular cookie that you buy at the store, right? So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this recipe. Again, feel free to put in a different flavor. Like if you want to actually use a flavored shake, you can use a vanilla or chocolate, would give you super chocolatey chips, but I really wanted to show you guys the unflavored because I don't think I've used it quite enough, and I wanted to give people an opportunity to have ideas of how to use it. So I'm going to put these in the oven, cook them for 10 to 12 minutes, see where I'm at, and then hopefully they turn out well. But I am very excited, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. So thank you for joining. Don't forget, if you guys joined late, I did let you guys know that we are doing that Amazon gift card. So all you have to do is follow us, screenshot it, send it to launch@310nutrition.com, LAUNCH @310nutrition.com, and you could be eligible to win that free money just by following the page. So thank you guys for joining. I hope to see you on Saturday when I make a shake recipe and give you guys new ideas for shakes. I'll see you then. Bye.